welcome. This is a video on how to start a Myleague, my NBA online with different users. My NBA, Myleague, whatever you want to call it. It's an online franchise with different users here. So this is how you set it up. These are the settings that I use. You can go with modern era, whatever era you want to go with, but these are the setups, the setup options here. I'm turning everything on. Fantasy draft, custom league rosters, custom rosters, customized league, customized salary cap, customize simple settings, customize advanced settings. So I usually turn all these on so I can have complete customization of how I want to organize my league. Play-in tournament, I turn it off because it takes too long. Online, if you want it online, you cut it on. So here for the advanced CBA rules, I leave dead cap on. You want to turn off stepping rule. That is basically saying you can't trade picks back to back. So if you trade a first round pick 1 year and then you want to make another trade right after that, you can't. They won't let you. They won't let you trade picks back to back. The 30-60 day rule, you definitely want to turn that off. That's saying if you make one trade, they won't allow you to trade anymore. It'll say you have to have the player on your team for at least 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or whatever. It'll come on, messages will pop up and won't allow you to trade that player if you just traded them. So definitely turn that off. Also, trade finances, so that's up to you. Trade finances is, if you leave it on, then you have to match salaries. So if a player is making 30 million, you got to trade him for multiple players that make up to 30 million, so those salaries can equal out like real life. So the money can be equal going across. So that's turned on. If you turn it off, then you can trade however you want. So it's just totally up to you. If you turn it off, you can trade a $30 million player for somebody that's making 1 million. Doesn't matter. Salary does not matter when you're trading. That's what trade finances are. A lot of people don't know that. If you want a more realistic league, like the real life, then you just keep it on and you can trade same salaries, or multiple people got to equal up to that one player salary. Like I said before, if you turn it off, you have a little bit more freedom. So that's totally up to you. I always keep on waiver rules, and I always keep on dead cap. Just something I do. Dead cap is if you drop players that's making 4 million the next year, you're gonna have to pay that salary unless somebody else picks them up. But that's dead cap. I turn off play-in because play-in takes too long for online franchise. You can keep it on if you want, but that's just a play-in tournament, just like real life. Ranked, leave that off. For the role-playing options, I usually turn all that off as well. From the start from point, I just do regular season. I don't do off season. When I do today, I think that might glitch the league. So I just do regular season there. Off. Automated off season, I turn all those off, and role-playing elements, I turn those off as well. That's totally up to you. I go to injury-free roster, so this is the most updated roster, and it's injury-free. So when you're doing a fantasy draft there, the players, maybe let's say they're 82 overall and they're injured currently in the NBA, it'll say like -3. And they'll be 79 overall, and they'll drop down when you're looking for them in the draft. So that's what injuries on. So I just turn off injuries, and I take injury, and I click that injury free. So all the rosters are updated, but nobody's injured. So they're at their full overall. You don't have to go searching for them when you're drafting, which is a headache, especially when you're in a 30-man or a 20-plus man online fantasy draft. It takes entirely too long to go searching for players. So I just turn the injuries off right there. Customized league. That's if you want to import teams. Here I keep it 82 games. I put it on 6 minutes, 10-minute quarter sim. So if you got a sim a quarter, 10 minutes is kind of a realistic scoring, I'd say. They give you realistic scores around 80 or 90 points team, and that's about, I mean, what you score when you actually playing the game. So I just put sim minutes to 10, and you can just look here for the draft type. I make sure it's not fixed. Fixed is going from 1 to 30 and then jumping back to 1. What I have it on now, it goes 1 to 30 and then 30 gets to pick again, and it goes 29, 28, 27. That is the best for the most even teams, obviously, so I keep it as that. Give everybody a chance. First round, quarterfinals, semifinals is all best of 7. Here I turn G League off. If you don't turn G League off, you will have G League players in your free agency or your player pool for free agency, and that can be a headache because you got all these created, made-up players in there. So you always turn G League off. Staff abilities, I turn it off as well. Rule changes, you can leave it on if you want. So salary cap here, you can check out all the salary cap. I leave most of it default. I turn minimum rating up and maximum rating, I believe, up. That makes the salary caps for the offseason more realistic. So minimum rating basically is saying that the players that with low overalls won't be asking for 20, 30 million. Won't be asking for max contracts. They'll kind of stay in their range. So I turn that to 75, and max is the opposite. Max players won't be asking for low contracts. They'll actually ask for their value. So I turn that to 85. That's about even. So trades here, you want to have trades on. Trade approval, you want to have on. And previously trade draft picks. You want to trade it draft picks. You want to make sure that is off. So everybody will have a first round and a second round pick. If that is off, make sure that is off. Otherwise, you're gonna have, if it's on, you have whoever picks the Thunder or like the low seeded teams with a lot of draft picks, the Thunder or Jazz, they'll have a whole bunch of draft picks and it won't be even. So I'll turn that off. On trade approval, of course, on, so the admins can vote on the trade before it's pushed through. Injuries, this is very important. This is how you get injuries off. You turn injury severity all the way down. You turn injury duration all the way down. You scroll over and scroll down. You see here, you got user injury effects, turn that all the way down. CPU injuries all the way down. User injury frequency, turn that all the way down. And CPU injury frequency. You turn all that down, then you go back to injuries and you turn it off. So turn all that to 0 and then go to injuries and turn it off. And that way you will have no injuries during your season. I know a lot of people turn injuries off and keep it moving. If you just turn it off, 2K still will have your players get injured when you do simulation. You have to turn all those factors down and then turn injuries off. That is how you get 0 injuries during the whole season. When you sim games, when you play games, that's how you get 0 injuries during the whole season. So again, 82 games per season, 10-minute sim. Here, G League off, staff abilities off, protected players, I don't touch that. Rule changes on, that means you can change rules in the off season just in case you want to switch something up. In order to get 1 through 16 playoff seeding, which I get, no conferences, you change it to this setting right here. This will give you no Eastern, no Western Conference. This will give you a total of 1 through 16 seeding. So I like to do this for my leagues because you got the 16 most active people, they automatically get in. So it's not based off East or West. If you're active and you're in the top 16 of the whole league, you're automatically going to get in. If you want to still leave it East or West, don't touch it. If you want to change it to 1 through 16, then you move to the bottom and you select the option that says the top teams across the leagues are seeded irrespective of conference finish based on record. So that's what you want to get. That's what you want to select if you want to do 1 through 16 seeding, no conferences. If you like the Eastern and Western Conference 1 through 8, then you don't touch it at all. That's what I changed there. You can make other rule changes, like If you want overtime to be first bucket wins, you can change that in here and all that. That's why I leave rule changes on. You can do all that, all the settings there. And then this is for the franchise fantasy draft. You're just setting your times. When the draft will start, trade deadline, how often you want the power rankings to update. I like them to update every 12 hours. That way you can kind of see the standings, how they change every 12 hours, like twice a day. You got the trade deadline. I always put it to 3 weeks, and then you can go back in once the season has started and change that, depending on your rules and your league, when you want to set the trade deadline. Other stuff here is just all up to you, what you want to do. I like to put everything to 2 or 3 weeks because our season lasts for 2 weeks. I like to put everything from 2 weeks so it doesn't keep, the timer keeps going off and things keep popping up your notifications. I like to set everything to 2 or 3 weeks or whatever's longer than our season, so that way it only pops up once. Like these action points and all this stuff here, trust attributes and trust action points and relationship points. I set all that so it doesn't pop up, keep popping up and keep reminding the users, because that can get annoying. So I just set that to 3-4 weeks down the line, so I only have to deal with it once. And all this other stuff is just the off-season changes. You want to set this to whatever minutes you want. I usually go small, that way I don't have to kill the timer. Off season usually takes about 1.5 hours, so that's just the stuff going on here. If you want to set it long, you can set it long so the users can have more time to adjust, have more time to pick up their free agents. But the league that I run, Just Hoop No Excuse League, I got a lot of veteran users, so they pretty much know what they're doing off season. So I set the minutes really low so we can just get it over with and get back into playing games. But that's totally up to you. That's what these online timers are. That pretty much wraps it up there. Just going over the settings to make sure they're A-okay. Always double check your work, because some of these settings you cannot go back and fix. So just double check, triple check, do what you got to do, because once it's set, a lot of these settings is set for good and you have to restart the whole league. And then I'll just name it here, Just Hoop No Excuse, and there you have it. Just Hoop No Excuse. This was the tutorial of how to make a online Myleague fantasy draft. For more content or my actual Myleague that I run, the Just Hoop No Excuse Xbox League that I run through Discord, you can go to my channel. Find me on Facebook at adminbhayes21. You can find me on YouTube at Big B Hayes TV. That's Big B _ Hayes TV. Check out games, top 10 plays, playoff games, regular season games, all that. That's the tutorial. Thanks for watching. See ya.